Want to see some cymbals getting cleaned up? Because that's what we're doing today. Hang on 1 second. I'll show you what we're doing. If you remember, when I got these Mist X cymbals that I was going to use for the Kent and Sitch band from Saluda, I put my own logos on there. And they are holding on there very nicely. But we did a show that had a fireworks display attached to it. And I got a whole bunch of ash and soot and stuff from the fireworks that landed on my entire drum set. And when I tried to wipe it off, I got these streaks all across the cymbals. And I have not had an opportunity to clean these yet. So I am doing that today. And I'm going to show you some before and after and to show you the product that I'm using. Cool. So the cleaning is taking place inside the house, not outside, because I don't like to use the hose on these cymbals. I like to be able to use a little bit of warm water on this. I'm using Barkeepers Friend, the liquid type. Although I have used the other stuff before too, the powder. But I prefer this stuff. It's a little easier to use. And you can get this at your local supermarket or hardware store or wherever. I'm using a soft sponge here to clean the surface. And I'm going to do a light scrub here. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing. Let's see if I can find a place to set the phone down. So, the hardest part about this is getting this stupid sink to turn on because it requires me to sensor to work. Anywho, we're gonna a little bit of this on the sponge, and we're gonna go right on the cymbal, just like this. No big deal. Not applying a lot of pressure, just enough to kind of scrub the cymbal. I'm even going over the logo, but like I said, I'm not really pushing down on it. Just a slight bit of pressure to get off the debris that I can actually physically see on here. It's kind of disgusting. The ones where there's black spots where those ashes landed seem to actually be leaving a little bit of trace amounts of stuff behind. The back side of this sponge has a little bit of it's a nylon. It's not metal. So I found that just barely applying any pressure to that side helps to remove some heavier parts. I prefer not to do that on the logos because I think that will actually take the logos off, so I'm avoiding that at all costs. But scrubbing the cymbal all the way around, the soft part, making sure I hit the spots where my fingers were holding onto the cymbal. Don't want to have spots that I missed there. See, there's a spot right there that's kind of not coming out with the regular soft part of the sponge. A little bit more of the cleaner on there. There we go. Let that hit for a little bit. Let that sit for a minute. Go back over this. Another black spot over here. Gonna hit that a little bit. Kind of annoying. That's the first time I've ever had, I guess it's the first time I've ever actually been that close to fireworks that were going off while I was playing a show. And I didn't really notice because the lights were off, obviously. It was kind of dark out. And stage lighting didn't reveal much. It wasn't until after the fact, 3 hours later after we played the show, that I was like tearing stuff down, and I got up close and noticed there's quite a bit of debris left laying on these cymbals. And I don't know, maybe I waited too long to try to wipe them, but when I tried to wipe them that night, it just smeared them. Ever since then, you guys know, I've been gigging my butt off. I haven't really had time to just bring these in the house, or actually pull them off the trailer, bring them in the house and clean them. As far as rinsing them goes, literally just rinsing them under the water here. Try not to make a mess. If the wife's going to come home and see, that would be bad. Gotta make sure I get the stuff off the glove so I don't just keep putting more on it. Making sure we get thoroughly rinsed. Might need a second time around. Yeah, there's still a couple spots on there that need a little bit of extra oomph. A little extra attention. No, I'm just going to hit the whole thing again. Not going to hurt nothing. Let's go over it again. There's one of those spots right there. It needs a little extra. Yes, there's fingerprints on the bottom. We're going to hit that too. They're not as bad because really the bottoms aren't exposed too much. Other than like other members of the band, people coming up and taking a look at the cymbals, you know, oh, I've never seen these before, and they like to just grab your cymbals to look at them because they like to, you know, tilt them back and forth or whatever. You know, it's one of those things. They don't understand. I try not to get too mad about it. It is kind of frustrating sometimes when people don't consider, like, they're shiny, but they don't stay shiny if you keep touching them. Just like any other metal, you know. If you wouldn't walk up to some dude with a Harley and put your fingers all over his chrome, you know, kind of rude. But I don't know, people don't take this kind of stuff seriously, I guess. I do. I take pride in what my stuff looks like and how it sounds. I think that's important in every aspect of our craft as musicians. All right, we're going to dry this thing. We'll put the phone down here where you can see what I'm doing here. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to put this right on this towel. Fold the towel right over it. Just dry it off. Got to make sure you get underneath the grumbles that I use. Little black things in the middle there. Get that completely dry underneath. All right. That is dry. Now, next phase is we take, I'm going to show you this. Hang on a minute. Hang on. Show you this next part. Got to make another clean spot here to work. Bear with me a minute. Put this back up here. And, all right. Next part of this is it is clean. Get the faucet out of the way. Tire Shine silicone spray. This is recommended by my guy Jamie at Saluda. Doesn't take much, just a little bit. Put that little bit on there. We just spread that around. Nice light coat. This will help protect the cymbal a little bit from future fingerprints and moisture and my sweat blowing all around on it during a gig or whatever. We know that happens. The bottom, I just use what's on the rag. For the bottom, I don't spray anymore on it. I don't feel like it's necessary to put much on the bottom of these because, like I said, they're not really exposed to much. So, do that. Back on the towel down here. I hope this camera's catching this because I'm kind of going a little bit fast just to kind of get you guys through this. But next I take a regular microfiber cloth, wipe off the excess of the tire shine. These will need wiped down a second time with the buffing cloth after the tire shine gets a chance to sit on them. It will draw out any other moisture that might be in the grooves of the cymbal. But that's about 10 minutes from now I'll do that. So, hold on one second. I'll take you outside. We'll take a look at it in the sunlight. As you can see, they are clean. Logos are still intact. They didn't peel, they didn't wipe off. But you can see the shine there. Look good. Final product, after wiping off the last little bit of the tire shine silicone spray stuff that I put on there. This thing's well protected now and ready to go for the next gig. Now to do the other cymbals, the whole set's got to be done. Well, gonna go to it.